Hi friends, welcome. If you are new here, my name's Allie Chambers. I'm a wedding photographer based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and today we are talking about your wedding client workflow. We're going to talk a little bit today about inquiry, booking process, communication, and everything following up after the wedding day. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. Let's talk about your inquiry process. You need to make it really clear how you want people to communicate and to reach out to you. Personally, I don't love doing inquiries via DMs on Instagram or any other third-party platform. I love for people to fill out my contact form because I have a little bit more control over the questions that I ask, and then I also know that I have a good solid way to be able to create communication with my potential client. So make sure that you do have one centralized place that people can go to and they know where to get all the information to get in contact with you. Some things that I personally love including in my contact form: making sure that you know their name, making sure that you do have a way to get in contact with them if for some reason they do have a number off or a letter off in any of the other fields that they've submitted. You do have a backup plan of being able to get in communication with them. So I like to give a couple of different areas of, an email, a phone number, so that they're able to receive all of the pricing information that I send them or booking information. Sometimes whenever you are sending from a newer email address, I use Dubsado as my CRM, but sometimes there are times where if somebody hasn't had communication with me before, that their emails will sometimes block whatever I'm sending them or send it to junk mail. If for some reason that happens, I want to make sure that I do have another way to get in contact with them. Whether it's weddings, brandings, any other kind of portrait session, or any other project, I love asking the question, what is your budget? My reason for asking that is because a lot of different projects require different budgets. Once you know the budget too, you can also make recommendations in your pricing guide. Go ahead and recommend to them, hey, I see that you have a budget of X amount. I do have this package that I think would be a really great fit for your wedding based off of the information that you provided. That's going to be a really helpful resource for them. It's going to give a lot less back and forth. It's a really good way to just show that you did care, to pay attention to their inquiry, and it gives them a lot of information in the front end and makes you look like the expert. Other questions if you are doing the wedding world, I like to ask about their venue and their location and also their date so that I can just go ahead and make sure that I have all of that information and make sure that I'm available too. And if they do have a venue that is a little bit further outside of my reach, I can go ahead and do my research on travel costs or any accommodations that I may need to have. There's a lot more that you could add in there, but I like to keep it very simple, and then I like to ask more detailed questions whenever we either hop on a call or whenever we're communicating via email, which we'll get to next. In my initial communication, I've recently started asking people in the contact form if they like to communicate via phone, email, or text. Not everyone checks their emails as much as I do, and I want to make sure that I am being accommodating to what their preferences are. I'll send over pricing. Sometimes in those emails, if they do have a venue that I've shot at before, I'll include a blog link of some photos that I've taken at that venue. If they mention in there that they want to do an engagement session, I'll maybe throw in dates of, hey, here's some calendar dates that I currently have off my schedule. It really just kind of bases off of the contact form, but that will be my initial inquiry response. And then I'm always pushing to set up a phone call. I love talking with people. I love hearing their voices, hearing more about their story, hearing more about their wedding day and all of their wishes for photography. I will usually do a follow-up email if I haven't heard from them for a specific amount of time. If they just completely ghosted me, then I will do one final follow-up. But we're gonna go in the more positive direction, and let's say that they're ready to book. Like I said, I use Dubsado as my CRM. I've loved it. I've used that since I've started my business. All of my forms, all of my questionnaires, everything that I do is within that system. There are a lot of great other systems that do the same thing that they do, but I've just really enjoyed it. It's very customizable. When they've mentioned that they're ready to move forward or that I can send over a proposal, I will send over a proposal with all the different packages that I offer. If they're doing a custom proposal, they will see their custom pricing there. And then within that proposal will also be a contract and a deposit, so that will be the three things they need to complete. Right after somebody pays me money and signs their contract, I want to let them know that I really appreciate them. So I send them this really nice welcome email, letting them know a little bit more about me, what they can expect throughout this process. I think it's very easy whenever you start booking wedding vendors, not knowing, okay, now that I've booked you, am I just going to see you again on the wedding day? I like to let them know when they can expect communication with me and kind of what the process steps moving forward looks like. When do they need to have certain questionnaires completed? When do they need to have their engagement session if that's something that they're hoping to do? It will also give them access to their portal, which is where I give them all their questionnaires, all their sample timelines, any kind of links that I want to create. It's just a one place that they can always keep a link to, and all they need to know is their email and their password, and then all of their information is stored within there to just let them know, hey, if you get overwhelmed by all the forms that I send send you at any point. This is your one place you can always come back to if you forget how many hours do we have you contracted, how do I find my invoice. Their client portal is just a one-step process to be able to find all of that information. Leading up to the wedding, I personally love developing photo timelines for my couples. It's a really great way to show them that I care about their wedding day, and then also I don't want them to have to feel the responsibility. I shoot weddings all the time. I've shot weddings for a very long time. I know how to build photo timelines at this point, and I would rather just help them with that process than leave them up in the air not knowing how long they should allot for wedding party photos and, you know, family photos, and the list goes on. I'll either send over a photo timeline questionnaire to let them know, hey, here's some information that I need to be able to draft a photo timeline for you, or if they've sent me over their roughed out timeline that they've gotten from either their wedding planner or they've developed on their own, I can create a photo timeline from there. But really the next step in that process is just helping them so they can have all that information and start communicating it with people who need to be at that place at that time, such as family. I'll also send a questionnaires, which I will be making a separate video about. I love communicating my business through questionnaires. I also give people the option whenever it comes to working with me. If you want to set up phone calls and you want to do this all over voice and communication, I'm happy to do that. I work with a lot of clients who don't live in this area and have really busy schedules in life. So I want to be mindful of their time. If they can't find a time on their calendar that works with my calendar, that they can complete these at their own leisure and whenever they do have time in their calendars to do so. And now the fun part. Wedding day. At this point, it is lights, camera, action. I have done everything that I could possibly do on the front end. I know all of their shot lists. I know their family members' names, so that we can really just be functioning like a well-oiled machine on their wedding day, and they don't have to think about anything when it comes to photo purposes, of course. There's a lot more to it than that, but we're just going to condense it down to that for time's sake. Following after the wedding, I know that all photographers operate their businesses differently. I love doing a sneak peek, and here's a couple of reasons why. Sneak peeks are just a great way to grow your business, in my opinion. My clients love them, the wedding guests love them, people who were at the wedding and people who were not at the wedding absolutely love them. I felt that my clients don't keep asking me about when their photos are going to be ready because I'm giving them a little sneak peek of everything. It allows both of us to just be at peace while I can work on their final gallery, and then they can be just so excited to get their final gallery. I also love doing sneak peeks because I've shot weddings around holiday seasons. If for some reason they're counting on those wedding photos to be a gift for someone, it's a really great gift, and I would love to be a part of their gifting process. I have found that for my couples that love sharing on social media, I want to be the photos that they're sharing rather than the blurry iPhone photos from the family member or friend that took one of them. Definitely not knocking the blurry iPhone images, because I've been the person for my wedding day to have loved the images that people got of, you know, us just acting natural and also just kind of what the wedding day looked like from their perspective. There's always space for an iPhone photo, but when it comes to running a business, I love providing sneak peeks because it grows my business as well. And whenever they go share them, I always ask that they tag me, and all of my couples have been so incredible about tagging me, and I've just found that there's a lot more benefits to providing sneak peeks than not providing sneak peeks. I then get to the point where I will share the gallery. I have areas in my questionnaire where I ask questions about, you know, are you okay with me posting photos before you shared anything? You know, are you okay with me sharing with vendors? So depending on what they've communicated via their questionnaire will kind of impact what the next couple of steps looked like, but I'll deliver their gallery. I'll give them some time to sit with it, be excited about it, figure out which photos are their favorite. And then after I've given that some time, I will go share, I'll go blog, I'll go post all of my stuff about this wedding. And then from there, I'll also share with vendors, because that's a really great way to also keep your business circulating if the couple is comfortable with that. And it's something that I always aim to do. I'm sometimes not as great as I wish that I was about that, but I think it's something that's really beneficial when it comes to a client workflow. In my ideal world, I do this every time, but I've gotten kind of bad about remembering to do this in the past year or so. I'll ask for a review. There are different places that you can have your reviews hosted. You can host reviews through Facebook if you are just getting started and you don't have a third-party platform that you can necessarily have people leave reviews just yet. You can also have reviews posted on your Google storefront, or something that I've done in the past, had them hosted on Wedding Wire and The Knot. And after that, our journey is pretty much wrapping up. I always love seeing my clients again. So recently I've started adding, you know, discounts for my returning clients or offering exclusive mini sessions for my returning clients because I love seeing them. And I also love seeing them grow. I've had a lot of couples that I shot 4 years ago that are now having families developed, and I just love keeping that relationship going. We spend a lot of time together and a lot of really emotional moments together on their wedding day. And it always feels very odd to go from this really, really emotionally heightened day to only having a social media relationship with them. So I like to keep a lot of communication with my clients. I love seeing them. I love keeping up with them. But that's really how my whole journey is wrapped up. If you are a photographer and you have a client journey that you like to take your clients on, I'd love to learn anything that you might have that I didn't list out. Anything that you found that's really special to you. If so, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to read more about that. As always, I wish you the best in your business, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe so that you don't miss any updates on new videos that have come out, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks, friends. Bye.